Hello there, my fellow Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War Division's global players, and welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Dabbage, and I'm new to this content creation business, so please bear with me during this bumpy ride as we both learn and grow together. I hope to put together information in a digestible manner while providing as accurate as possible information. I'm on your side, and you can trust me. Today, we'll be looking at most recent news from JP, discussing global upcoming content, and just rambling incoherently until I lose your attention. Now that all being said, let's take a look at the news ahead of us, with War Division's Japanese September news, shall we? Upcoming, we have Jume. Jume is Japan's most recent banner-featured character addition in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War Division's JP. She is a crystal warrior who is voiced none other than by Hisako Kanemoto, whose name may mean nothing to you, but means everything to me. She has voiced Jita in Grand Blue Fantasy the animation, one game who I also love, and one character I also love playing as in Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and Erina Nakiri in Shokugeki no Soma. Best girl. So, with that being said, onto her specifications. She's a 100 cost wind tank, a role that was heavily needed for the element both between cost and job type for UR. Her main job is none other than Warrior of the Wind Crystal, which alludes to the other five having their main crystal, thus the name Crystal Warriors. Her limit break, which is translated roughly to Storm, Dance Void, will deal large damage to targets within range after raising her own slash attack for 3 turns, which is something rather valuable to have. We definitely love to see effects happen before the damage. The second skill shown, as you can see here, is Stormblade, which deals medium damage to targets within range and decreases their agility for 3 turns. Again, this is something we love to see, especially since the slower the enemy is, the easier they are to take out. The last shown skill is Wind's Blessing, which gives her barrier for herself, which reduces physical damage for 3 turns and raises her own defense penetration rate for 3 turns. Now, there's also another skill that has been data mined, which is known as Vacuum Armor, and with that skill, it raises her own hate while giving herself protect for 3 turns. This all being compiled together makes me think of Fravia, only a physical inclination instead. It's rather interesting since she seems to be a hybrid tank in DPS, again akin to Fravia, but again, physically inclined rather than magically. So yes, she is going to be a Crystal Festival banner character. As of Jume's banner, there will be a set of 6 total characters, June included, where the unit will only be available for 1 week, hence the Crystal Festival. The shards for the units will be permanent, but the character themselves are limited in a sense. They will be available for 1 week only for each banner core, and the banners will be rerun each month. However, that being said, you can do the hard quest for the shards unlike other unlimited, or rather limited and collab units, but the characters won't be in the standard pool so you can't get them off banner. The other situation that the Crystal Festival finds itself having is that there's no guaranteed UR gauge and no 9-step. As for whether or not you can pity the unit, there's no telling as of now, but I hope that will be the case as it has been in the past. Otherwise, please prepare your wallets, and please support this small indie development company that you can absolutely trust with your money. Personally, I don't mind either way, since I plan on giving this small and generous indie company my money for this absolutely beautiful unit. Just look at how gorgeous she is. Like, can you really say no to that? Now, with that being said, allow me to mute myself so we can view her trailer.
クリスタルの戦士に弱者は不要。さっさと片付ける。人間って不思議な生き物。理解できない。かけろ、疾風。私と立ち会う？いい度胸。真空の刃よ、行け！さよなら。ファイナルファンタジー、ブレイブエクスビアス、幻影戦争。
Now, If you can't tell from that trailer, she has a top tier voice. She's very beautiful. I'm pausing that video. That was an accident, so please forgive me for that. Forgot YouTube likes to autoplay, and I'm not going to go back and edit this video. Now that being said, yes, as you can see, she's a very beautiful unit. That smile at the end was precious, and she's very sassy and to the point. Now, moving on to further news for Japan. Japan is also getting new units that are getting their EX in September. In the second week, we can expect to see Lucia, a much anticipated for me character. We can expect to see Lucia, Lilith, look at the T-pose, it's just wonderful, and Sosha. 3 fun favorites that are finally getting some love and respect that they so rightfully deserve. Again, personally, I hope that Lucia gets a lot of love and treatment, since me personally, she entranced me the moment she said she wanted to kill me and just shoot me dead. Week 4 we'll see Nivlu, Ildira, and Mia. So Nivlu is rather frightening to think of as an EX unit, because even as a 99 level cost 80 unit, she was still rather threatening, and still currently is in the global meta, being a unit that can not only support but also deal some damage from a range. Her collaboration with lightning units as well is rather frightening, given her synergy with, let's say, Cloud and 9S. And yeah, so look forward to that. That being said, moving on to Ildira, she is definitely T-posing for a reason. She will be the first mathematician main job to reach EX. What this means for global, what this means for Japan, what this means for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War Divisions in general will definitely be rather interesting. What they do with Mathematician level 120 frightens me beyond the grave. I cannot even imagine what kind of clown shoes ridiculous treatment she'll get, but she's a queen, so she deserves it. And that being said, Mia's Miva. And going back really quickly to this Crystal Festival banner, just look at the silhouette for these characters. Something tells me that they may be the future, what was it in just the standard Brave Exvius? The 6 Knights or whatever of each element? They may end up being those characters or inheriting the spirits in some way, shape, or form. You know, their silhouette kind of gives me Gilgamesh vibes, and her armor's rather elegant as well. Maybe they'll see some evolution, who knows? I don't really care, that's just baseless speculation, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's just besides the point. So yeah, Mia is getting her EX as well, so for those that hadn't cleared the Gargus questline yet, look forward to that in about 6 to 7 months from now. Forget the global discrepancy when it comes to banners rather, and release schedules, so maybe we'll see her sooner, who knows. But she'll be great for that questline, and if you love Mia, which is valid, play the game how you want, look forward to EXing her. As for the global side, this week, we're seeing none other than Barret, Aerith, and our favorite bug that caused bugs, God Scorpion, releasing. Now, yes, that being said, the gracious dev team at Gumi was quick to resolve the issue and was proper in doing so. You can absolutely trust them. Barret himself is seeing a global glow-up, as I like to call it, which is well deserved as he is most handsome individual, who means well for the planet. It is dying after all, and it's all that Shinra's fault. Aerith is a clairvoyant and mysterious woman who will fit into the meta God knows how since we got water units ahead of schedule, while also receiving some great water cards recently. You may think immediately to yourself, but Cloud! To which I will simply say that the meta doesn't solely surround one character, Black Rotana, at a time, and looking at things in a vacuum may not be in your best interest. I will, however, say that, if you haven't been saving your stars and minespheres much like myself, good luck maxing them out day one, as this global gigabrainers are much want to do. God Scorpion is an amazing Esper for lightning units, and his vision card is also getting global buffs. Check the in-game notices for further details, as quite frankly during this write-up I was too lazy to do my research to see the specifics, but I think it's something like Slash Attack and Water Res Up for all lightning units. To me that's quite hilarious, but I look forward to seeing what the future of War Divisions brings. We'll also be seeing a new guild battle map which features Missile Ice Attack Up, cough, Barrett, cough. So be prepared to get your Valentine's Celias as well as your Barretts, because it's going to be a bumpy ride featuring Cloud alongside the likelihood of Yuna to be in the Dark Triad in tow. Now, you may wonder, who is the Dark Triad? That really depends on where you are currently in the meta and who you're facing. That can be either the Mono Dark featuring Venera, Black Rose, Helena, and Dwayne, or the 100 Cross Trio featuring Helena, Dwayne, Kingmont, Gilgamesh. Pick a 100 Cross unit in there. Possibly a Yuna if they're sadistic enough and masochistic enough. There'll also be a new arena map, Graveyard 3, which personally is one of my favorites. Please look forward to it, though you may want to know that it can easily turn into a Zergfest if you let it, so you may want to playtest this with your friends. It should be available in the classic personal duels. I don't really have much else to comment on news-wise, so beginning now I'll run incoherently as previously done so on my personal thoughts. Again, I'm very much so looking forward to Lucia EX. I love her so much. Just look at how beautiful she is. Her TMR seen nothing but constant use all throughout the meta. All sorts of units benefits from its agility, and just look at the outline that it gives her legs. It's just so splendid and wonderful. I want to step on me. Now, that being said, her abilities as a gunner, as a dual gunner, I'm hoping that she sees some enhancements with her range, lowered AP cost, as well as something that breaks barriers and then does damage. I'm looking forward to the Crystal Festival as well, because while it is only limited to 1 week, and certain character will be featured, there's no UR gauge guaranteed UR, and there will be no 9-step. That being said, I am hoping that in the same vein of other games and their festivals, that there will be a 2x drop rate for the units featured. Now, that's very optimistic thinking. I don't think Japan's released any information in regards to drop rates for these units, but typically with banners akin to this in, say, Grand Blue Fantasy, Dragalia Lost, Fire Emblem Heroes, there is an increased rate to the drop rate of the featured banner characters, if not high rarity characters just in general. That's also aside, I'm looking forward to the coming months in Global and what they have for us. We're going to see characters like King Jaden pop up, which my Light team is so salivating for. We'll also see the Final Fantasy 15 collaboration with RNA, who I want to spear me through the chest. And we'll also see Noctis, who for some ungodly reason is immune to wind weakness. And Prompto, who is Prompto, and has shown to put in the work himself. If you don't trust me, then you can go ahead and see what he's done in other Japanese content creators' videos, but that's up to your discretion, up to your, interpretation of what's good and what's bad. I can't fault you for your opinions, and I will not let you fault me for mine. That being said, I'm excited to see what the 2-year anniversary looks like for Japan, because most likely we'll see something even more generous, as has always been the case for Global. People may say things like, oh, Global is handled so poorly, I can't believe how they've handled this, that, the other, but people fail to realize that while Global may have its misgivings, while some things may occur at a very fast rate, such as the Zazan banner being a limited banner and quote-unquote not a festival due to this, that, the other. Well, all things considered, I'd rather click on 5 chests at a time than 3 chests when it comes to my daily reward intake, and get a free rare summon ticket in the process. I'm also looking forward to the new story, since during Book 1, at times I found myself intrigued and other times I found myself rather bored. And I also hate Marshri as a character. With Book 2, it seems as though Glacial is going to be a more domineering presence, and of course my beloved Lucia. She's prevalent, she's present. Now, that being said, I forgot to mention Oberon in the coming months of Global. He's also a unit I'm looking forward to, however he seems to be a huge simp for Jaden, so part of me wants to try to find a compilation of characters that will fit together and be cohesive enough to be competitive, but I don't anticipate that exactly being the case. So, fingers crossed that good things happen with that. At this point, I'm really not sure what else to comment on. I look forward to the second week of the Final Fantasy VII collaboration, wherein I can go ahead and pull for, where are they? Barrett, Eris, and God Scorpion. This boy mainly for my cloud, and then this man, this handsome individual, just look at him. Just look at how rugged and manly, just the revision of character himself. I'm so glad they gave him a glow up when it came to 7 Remake. But yes, I can't wait for this absolute hulking unit of a man to receive global upgrades and the love that it received thanks to Japan not really pulling for him, which is understandably so. Look at this lineup. You can't disrespect his fade or those shades. Can't toss shade at the man. Now, I can't emphasize enough that I appreciate the global fan base for being so cooperative and so communicative in terms of strategy, in terms of news, in terms of intel, in terms of translating this out of the other, and providing news sources between one another. So I want to say from the deepest depths of my heart that I thank you all for doing so, and if you've watched this video and enjoyed it, then I thank you for that as well. If you've existed, I thank you for that as well. I also would like to give a shout out to Gumi for existing, as they are very generous and you can absolutely trust them. Now, I believe it's the time to wrap up my video. This once more has been Dr. Dabbage, and I will see myself out. If you like this content, please comment below as to what you would like to see from this channel going forward, and what else you'd like to see. I do apologize once more for the crude and lack of structure and slides. I could have done a better job in presentation, but it is what it is. That's that, and this is this. So for my first video, I'd like to think this was a bang-up job, but that, again, is up to the person watching it. So if you liked it, disliked it, please comment below. If you have any feedback, I'm most welcome to it. And lastly, I want to thank you all for existing, and I want to thank the global community as well as the Japanese community for doing their best to spread information and to support each other. So, with all that being done and said, thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all a wonderful week. Till we meet again.